I left school, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be different. I didn't want my children to be afraid of me. I didn't want anybody to be afraid of me. I was scared of my mum and dad. I was petrified. I didn't want anybody to be scared of me. So I knew I had to change. Now I thought if I wanted to be different, I just had to want to be different. I didn't realise I was going to have to work at it. But I did. I had to work at it. And I had to go off and do years of all sorts of stuff and lots more writing. I used to write heaps when I was at high school. I used to write poems to impress the girls that I liked. But the problem was, I still had all this fighting going on in my home. So when I wrote a nice poem for a girl, it would start off really sweet, like, you have lovely eyes, and your eyes remind me of the sky, and the sea, and all that stuff. But then, because I was challenging this stuff at home, I had all this stuff going on, my poem would always end dark. Like, sucks and all this sort of stuff. And really dark and down and depressed stuff. So my poems would always end like that. Then I'd go find the girl, I'd give her the poem, check out that writing. And she would read it and goes, oh wow, that's so lovely, huh? And she'd keep reading. I don't think so. You've got issues. Issues. But I never stopped writing. So when I left school, I kept writing. When I was a kid, my writing helped me to escape what was going on at home. When I got older, my writing actually helped me make sense of it. It helped me work it out. And how am I going to be different? What am I going to do? This is one of the things that I did. Warrior kids. Now when I was young, 12, I found martial arts. What I liked about martial arts was that I found a lot of the men there and women, they had control. I hadn't seen that much in my life. My mum and dad and a lot of my family were out of control. You know, the police would be coming around, others would be coming around because things were getting smashed and broken and people getting hit and hurt all the time. So I had very little control of my life. So when I saw martial arts and I saw that control, and of course I saw the fancy flash kicks and all that, I thought to myself, I want that. And so I started to learn. And I kept learning. And then later on, I had to do some other things too, like look at anger and things like that, because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be a peaceful person. And not a person that had to be worried about the police coming around or getting into trouble or anything like that. So I started this class, Warrior Kids. And as you know, one of the books you got in your school is this book here, Warrior Kids. Okay, now that's about the class that I do. So I started this little class and it got bigger and bigger. And in that class, we would do all sorts of things, wrestling and games, all sorts of fun stuff. But it was also an opportunity just to get together, and sometimes there were opportunities to talk and stuff like that. And I'm still doing it. I haven't stopped. Kept going. It helped me. And in the process, I was helping other kids as well. It's what I wanted when I was your age. It's the sort of thing that I would have wanted. So that's why I created it. Now, this is what it's called now. It's still Warrior Kids as a program, but as a book, it's changed its name. Bullies and Warriors. Who's read Warrior Kids here? Who knows this book? Who knows this book? Very good. Okay, so now it's got a new title and there's new things in it. There's different things that happen. Okay? And now Warrior Kids are spreading. Other people are picking it up and they're starting to do it for their communities. I'll read you part of the first chapter. Now I realise you might have read it before, people down the back there, but often it's quite a thing to hear the actual author read. Here we go. Bullies and Warriors. Chapter 1. Wimp. You're such a wimp. Mark Thomas said, shoving Sean and sending him stumbling backwards. Mark peered out from under his hood and sniggered with his friends as they bunched up in front of Sean outside the school gate. Mark's best mate, Eric, stepped forward. "You always hang out with girls," he sneered at Sean. "Yeah, you wuss," the others cheered. "So, at least he isn't a try-hard gangster," snapped Apihana, standing up to Eric with her fists clenched. It was 3:15, and while everyone else was heading home after a day at school, Sean was about to get the bash. He couldn't keep his legs from shaking. He had no idea why Mark and his crew wanted to beat him up, but Mark Thomas never needed a reason to thump someone. He just did it. "Need a girl to fight your battles for you," Eric taunted. Sean raised his shoulders and tried to look tough. "No," he said, his voice breaking as his eyes swelled with tears. It was so unfair. Sean always cried when he got angry. "What a baby," Eric joked, encouraging Mark and the rest of them to laugh. "Shut up," said Apihana. She snatched the cap from Eric's head and sent it sailing into the air. "Hey!" Eric cried, his cheeks a fiery red. He frowned at Apihana. "Bring it on," she said, standing over him. "Oi, you kids," the school caretaker bellowed, giving every child within a 100-metre radius a fright. The elderly man stood at the school gate. "The bell's gone, so get home," he said. "You're not a teacher," Mark shot back. With Mark and his mates occupied, Sean used the opportunity to turn around and walk away. "Are you all right?" Ravanish asked him. "Let's go. Let's just keep walking," Sean replied, looking over his shoulder. "I'll say it once more and I won't say it again." "Go home," the caretaker demanded. "You can't make us," Mark argued as the others started to do as the caretaker said. "Come on, man. Let's go." Eric pulled his cap down low and started to pull at Mark. "Forget it, bro. That kid's getting away." "Do as you're told, Mark Thomas." Miss Swanley, the principal, suddenly appeared beside the caretaker. Mark pushed Eric off him, dropped his head and stormed away from the school. Now, if you haven't read this book, you're going to have to track it down and find out what happens next. But basically, Sean gets to do warrior. And so it takes you through the program. So, you know, I've done warrior kids for many years, but not every child gets to come to warrior kids. So through this, you can get to come and you get to see it, you get to find out what it's all about.